talk about college, and I'll give you a little background of kind of where I am and how I got here and what I do. Is I actually came out of undergrad. Undergrad is when you get a 4-year college, 4-year degree. I'm sorry, undergrad is when you go to school for 4 years, and it's your bachelor's of science, bachelor's of arts, and that's your first intake into college. And so when you finish that first set, you get a bachelor's degree. That's a 4-year college, and that's where every one of you all will be going when you finish high school. From there, you go to get a master's degree. And a master's degree basically says you're going to specialize in something. And that could be anything from accounting to biology to sports medicine to fitness. And mine was computer science. I went ahead and got a second master's because I wanted to specialize in business. So I got a technical master's and I got an MBA, which is a business master's. And then ultimately, I went back and got my PhD, which is a doctorate degree, so that I could actually have the terminal degree. So your terminal degree is your doctorate degree. That means you don't have to learn anything else more about, you don't have to go to school, anything else in that particular field. It doesn't mean you can't keep learning and get other degrees and other things, but from a computer science standpoint, I've received the top degree. And so what we're going to talk about now is really getting to college. I started working at IBM when I first came out. I ended up doing 28 years of working in corporate America. And then I started teaching at the University of Texas, Dallas, and also at Southern Methodist University the last 5 years. So I have now a full-time professor, and I have my company also that I run to make companies better. That's the simplest way to say it. So when I tell you that, I'm telling you that going to college for everyone on this call is not an option. We're here to help you get to college. That's the simplest way to say it. Everyone in this call should be thinking, okay, I'm going to college when I finish high school. And that can be anywhere from a 2-year college to a trade college to a 4-year college, but you're going to do something to get better, to get stronger. All right, how do you get to college? Well, the program that I'm looking at and the program that I work with juniors and seniors. It doesn't mean I don't talk to 9th graders or 10th graders, so we definitely work with them as well. And one of the things you need to understand when going to college is that you really need to start thinking about what colleges do you need to know about? What colleges do you want to go to? So I'm going to make this an interactive session. So I'm going to call on people and I'm going to ask them. So Jamira, if I pronounce Jamira, what colleges top 3 are you on your plate that you might want to go to?
My top 3 colleges are the United States Naval Academy, Virginia Tech, and UVA currently.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And Joshua?
Yes, sir.
And what 3 colleges are top? Give me 2 colleges you're thinking about going to, or that you might want to go to.
University of Arkansas at Pine Bluffs.
Okay.
And this thing in my other college.
That's all right. That's all right. That's good. That's good. How about you? How about you, Devin?
My top 2 are Tennessee State and Alabama A&M.
All right, Tennessee State, Alabama A&M. Christian, how about you?
I've been looking at Florida A&M.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask the question. So I'm going to go back over here to Jameer. I know why you want to go to Naval Academy. That's the easy answer. Why UVA?
Because I find it also like an interesting school. I find a very interesting way they do things.
Okay, and so that's pretty generic, right? It's and so which is okay. And Devin, why the you said Arkansas Prime? Which school did you say, Devin?
I said Alabama A&M.
Yeah, so why Alabama A&M?
Well, I said because I had my major one, because I want to do electrical engineering, and like just the area in general, it's like suburban. So I was like, okay, that's like I'm not like really like a big city person.
Okay.
So
okay.
It's like just the geographic area. It's
okay, so you like the area, you like the school. Okay, that's good. That's good. Who else? Christian, what did you say? Which one did you say? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this question.
I said Florida A&M because it's closer to like my family and stuff, and also like it's a different area, and I want to meet like different people because I live in Colorado, so like I just know like people are different. And also I know they got like computer science, and that's what I want to major in.
And so you're in Colorado, and what's the top school in Colorado for computer science? You know, it's one of the top in the nation.
CU Boulder.
No.
Is it top? Oh wait, are you talking about what's the top school for computer science?
Yeah, in your
in
your state, the Colorado School of Mines. You heard of that?
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also so what I want you all to do and what we're going to take away from here is there I'm going to mention other schools to you. Creighton you may have heard of or not heard of. You may have heard of um, the Boulder. Most people haven't heard of Boulder State, which is a good university. Florida State people have heard of. You've heard of all the top schools, but you're going to actually start getting a lot of emails from colleges. If you're a junior, or if you're a junior or a sophomore, you're starting to get emails and letters from colleges, correct? And I want you to all do this. When you get those emails and letters from college, I want you to go log on to their website and research them. Because right now, our college mindset is based on what sports we see playing on TV, what our parents have told us, or that we've actually went to go to see them. How many universities do y'all think? How many four-year universities are in the United States? How many would you all think?
I want to say 400, around 400.
Okay, that's really low. Somebody else.
I would,
I'd say about 200.
Okay, that's lower than 400, so it's much lower. It's higher. It's much higher.
50,000.
No, 50,000 is a little extreme. It's 2,200 four-year university in the United States. That's pretty unreal, isn't it? And when I say that, the reason I'm saying that is because so many of these schools have so many great things to offer. So every time you get something in the mail for any school, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at it and say, I've never heard of this school. Great. I want you to go log on to their website, take a virtual tour, see who they are, see the people, see what's going on, and say, you know what, this is not a bad school. Put it in the possibility pile. Go look at it, check it all out, look at the clubs, look at everything, and you go, no, that's not for me. Put it in the not pile. But every time you get a letter from a school or an email or something in the mail, go research that school, okay? Pick a school based on what you like, not what other people tell you or what you know, okay? And none of the schools you all said, all the schools you said are great schools. But that's a finite list. I want you to look for a lot more schools, okay? Look at all the schools you can look at. Every time, I'll say it again, every time you get an email, every time you get a brochure in the mail, don't put it in a pile. Go online, look at the site, spend 15 minutes, 10 minutes, look at it, see if you like it, put it on the left. If you don't like it, trash it and keep moving, okay? All right, so now that's the first thing I want you to do, because you got to figure out what you like about a school. And it's hard right now because you only know what you know. And what I need you to do is learn more. So the things that you need to do is the first thing you got to do when you start figuring out, once you find a school you want to apply to, and you want to find 10 schools that you want to apply to. You may not apply to all 10, but you want to have a list of 10 schools, okay? 10 schools, not one, not two, 10. And you want to really be comfortable at any one of those schools, okay? Next thing you're going to do is you're going to go look online and see your online presence. So you're going to search for your name in the browser, see what's going on. You're going to look at your email. Does anybody have a crazy email address that they might want to share? I've worked with people who had emails was, you know, I'm a dirty man, or I'm a dirty guy, or I'm no good at gmail.com. You know, these are crazy emails. So the next thing you want to do is make sure your email name is your first name, last name, maybe a year or an initial in there. And if you haven't, create an email address, okay? That's special for college. And that email address that you create special for college, make sure your parents know the user ID and password, because that's the only thing you're going to be doing in that email is college, and that's going to help you and help them, because this college process, it's a journey. And so you want your parents with you there. Recommendation letters. It's time. It's time to get recommendation letters from students. Whoever's a junior going into the senior year or a sophomore going into their junior year, it's time to get letters. Now, what do? If you're in Texas, we have this thing called the Apply Texas. If you're not in Texas, you probably have an Apply for your state. But beyond that, everything has a Common App. Has anybody ever heard of Common App? All right.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. So
Yes.
Common App is the application that you can use to apply to about, out of those 2,000 schools, probably 1,400 of them. That's a lot. And so you're going to use Common App, set that up as soon as you can this summer, and send a recommendation request to at least 3 teachers and at least 2 community people. So that's 5 recommendation letters. Get those sent out this summer. If you're a junior or going to be a senior, get those recommendation letters out now. You can start your common application now. It's okay.
I don't have
All right.
$100,000.
I'm sorry, say it again. Somebody had a question? Oh, no. All right, make sure you mute if you're not asking a question. Next thing is, on the second thing is ACT, SAT scores. Is anybody that's a rising senior or rising junior have not taken their SAT or ACT yet?
I took the
Go ahead.
ACT, but I haven't taken the SAT.
That's okay, as long as you're taking one, okay? All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to look at your scores, see how you do, work with your counselor. You can talk to Kevin, you can reach out to me, it doesn't matter. And we can evaluate to see how well your score is, what colleges that you've listed, and then we can tell you when you need to take it again. My recommendation is everyone takes it again in November, and or if you're a senior, take it again in October, November. If you're a junior, take it again in March of next year. Okay, so if you're going into your 11th grade year, take it again in March. If you're going into your 12th grade year, take it again in November. No matter what, just take it, okay? Selection of universities, go ahead, I'm sorry. Selection of universities, we talked about that. Make sure that you actually select and go find 10 universities that you like. 10, not 1, not 2, 10, and research them, because the next time we talk, I'm going to ask you, when you tell me about why you like a school, you should say like, I think it was like Devin did. I like it. I like the area. I like the degree they have. You got to tell me details about it, because I'm going to ask you what clubs would you join. So that means I want you to know what clubs are at that school. I want you to look at the pictures of that school. Do the pictures look like white people, black people? Do they have girls, guys? I mean, what do the pictures say? What do the clubs say? You want to feel like you're a part. When you look at that university, you want to feel like you're a part of that university. That's so important, okay? The application process, the reason I want you to look and research these schools is you're going to send out information to those schools. They're going to send you these little introduction forms. You fill them out, you send them in, or you put them online, you click on it, because they're going to give you back an application fee waiver. And so the goal is for these 10 schools that we only want to pay for 2 or 3 applications, and the other 7 are going to be waived. All right, but the only way you can do that is that you research these schools, you fill out the request form for information, and then you apply before September 15th. They will waive your application fee. Somebody asked us, how much do y'all think application fee is for a university? What do you think the range is?
Like 50 to 100.
That's exactly right.
I'll say, yeah, 50 to 100.
50 to 100. So if you do 10 applications, that's $500 or $1,000, right? Most of your parents are going to go like, we're not paying that. We're not doing that. But if you say, hey, mom, I got 7 free ones. Can you help me with these 3? Or dad, I got 7 free ones. Can you help me with these 3? That's a much easier conversation, okay? So go through those schools, fill out the welcome form, get to know those schools, research them, and get them on your list. Ultimately, financial aid and scholarships, that's the thing that comes around later. But when you apply to every school, let me tell you how this works. Every application that you apply to for every school, you actually are already in the list for scholarships.
Klyne?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple things. Can you, someone said they're having trouble seeing your presentation. Can you maybe unshare and reshare it? I see it fine, but, and then the second thing, there was a question. Can you explain Common App?
Yes. All right, so let me unshare and share again. I'm gonna share just the presentation. Let's see if that helps. Okay, let's see if we can see it better. All right, can you see the presentation a little better, everybody?
I can see it fine.
Okay, all right, so.
On the chat, so could you explain Common App?
Yeah, so let me do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it real easy. We're gonna go over here. And I am going to, can you see my browser?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, Common App. Now, luckily, I have sons who just, Common App login. So Common App login is the actual It's part of the College Board, and it's a common app. And I'm going to log in. Let's see if I can log in. I'm going to be a first-year student, and there's one of my mentees. All right, so Common App, here's what it is. Hopefully it'll come in. It's a place where you can actually go find, research all your colleges, and you can do the applications right here online. Okay, so this is what Common App is. Common App allows you to select all the universities you want to apply to, and you can fill them in completely. Now, the beauty of Common App is that, so you notice I have the application for Florida Southern College, right? But I want to do let's do a college search. I'm going to look for, let's just pick this one, this First University. Add to my colleges. Oh, that's in the UK. I don't want to go to the UK. I mean, nothing wrong with the UK, but let's go to Agnes Scott, okay? Add to colleges. And now when I go to my colleges and I go to Agnes Scott, all I have to fill out to complete this college application is, watch this. I fill out the questions, and I tell them when I'm going to start, what plan, early, regular decision. I'm going to be a commuter. I'll just be a boarder. I've never been a boarder before. We did this test. Yes, we're going to do financial aid, and I'm showing you this for a reason. Then we get down, and what is your academic interest? African American studies, art. You pick this. That'll work. Continue. And your activities, let's just do that one. I don't want to add another one. Continue. So what I'm telling you is I am actually completing an application for applying into Agnes Scott. Okay? I'm actually completing an application. Do you see how easy this is? No siblings, no relatives. Continue. Other information. No, I don't have anything else I want to tell you all. You got to answer these questions. This is the one thing that's unique is you're going to have to answer all of these questions for each university if they're different. All right, once you answer those questions, were you assigned a male at birth and identify as a male? Yes. Huh? Oh, that's a new question, Kevin. Have you ever been convicted? No. Continue. I don't think it's going to let me. And at that point, what's next? Review and submit the application. I'm done. So what the Common App is once I complete all of the Common App sections, so everything over here, once I complete it one time, when I go to add a new college, all I do is update what the college is looking for, and then I'm done. So Common App allows you to apply for hundreds of schools without having to go to every single website and log in, create a user ID, and create an email. I know that was a long way around it, but it's better to see it sometimes. But that's what Common App is. And when you want to ask for recommendations, you can actually come in here and ask for recommendations for people. Other questions on Common App? Oh, I know that was fast, but this is what Common App is. It's a centralized way to apply to multiple universities. All right, great question. All right, now let's go back to the presentation. The financial aid and scholarship. So what's going to happen is, as you saw on that app, that when I asked me that I want to be considered for financial aid and scholarships, the answer is yes, and then they automatically take that into consideration. The second part of scholarships are actually the outside scholarships, places you can apply that are not associated with the school. All right, so I'm going to pause there and see if anybody has any questions. I know it's a little bit long, but anybody have any questions about what you need to do over the next 6 to 12 months if you're a senior and or if you're going to be a junior? All right, so Noah, what are you going to do when you get an email from a college or you get a flyer or you get something in the mail from a college? What are you going to do?
I'll do my research on the college.
That's what I'm talking about.
See what majors they have to offer. Look at the campus if I can, like virtually.
Yep. No, that's perfect. You answered it. I like it. I like it. And Christian, what's the purpose of Common App?
Getting applications done and helping you apply for colleges.
Okay. And Chris, how many colleges should you have on your list? How about Chris? Okay, there's Chris. Chris, how many colleges should you have on your list?
Got accepted into my college, though.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said 3. However, I got accepted into my college.
Oh, you already got accepted. So you're a freshman or you're a senior already?
I am a senior going into my freshman year in college.
Oh, so you're already past this stage. You're ready, aren't you? That's awesome, man.
Born ready.
Congratulations. What college are you going to go to?
I'm going to Morehouse College in Atlanta.
Oh, man, that's not a bad, you know, Xavier's the best school in the world, but Morehouse is pretty solid. So I'll give you a lot of due credit on that one. I guess you know where I went to undergrad now, right, Xavier?
I do.
Excellent, man. Excellent. I love it. Okay. All right, Christian, how many colleges are you going to have on your list?
10.
There you go. All right. Excellent. All right. Any other questions before I switch topics over to personal growth?
Yeah, Klyne, I've got a question. Can you give them some examples of questions when they're doing the research on a college? What questions should they have?
Okay, good. So let's talk about that. When you're doing research on a question, first question you're going to want to ask is, am I looking for a large or small or medium-sized college? So think about who you are, and there's no wrong answer. Just think about what you think is best for you. Next thing you want to do is you want to look at the place the college is in. I went to college undergrad in New Orleans, but my dad's from New Orleans, so that was not a challenge for me. Some people went to college in New Orleans with me and they had a problem. Looking at Texas A&M, it's in the middle of nowhere. So really look at where that college is. Also look at the weather and the temperature. I heard someone say they're from Colorado. If you're from Florida and you go to Florida and you go to school in Colorado or Iowa, that's a challenge. But you may love it, right? And the same vice versa. You go from Iowa there. So how big is the college? Where is it located? And then, of course, the easy one is what majors do they have, right? The majors are so relevant because you don't want to go to a school that doesn't have your major. Ultimately, you want to look at a school and say, what kind of diversity do they have? And what is this a diverse school? Is it an HBCU? We already know if it's HBCU, it's predominantly black. But if it's a predominantly white school, am I looking at what's the diversity level? And not only is what is the diversity level, but what programs do they have for diversity? And what programs do they have for African Americans? Because you can go to a school that's very diverse, but doesn't have African Americans. I teach at UTD, which is extremely diverse. Probably 55% of the people there are non-white, but there's still only 6 to 7, 8% black people. So diverse means multiple cultures, but what about from African American perspective? Look at the male-female ratio, depending on how you look at that. Look at also internships. Look at what companies recruit from those schools, and look and see who those top schools are, who those top names are. So where is it located? How big is the school? What is the diversity of the school? Does it have your major? What are the clubs and organizations that support you as a student? So let's say you have a learning challenge or you like to play basketball, whatever. Does the school have those activities that you can keep doing? Because you're not going to study 24/7.
Could I add in again, if I'm incorrect, you can correct me, but you should also look at a school that's really strong in the major that you want to have, because typically a university that's very strong in a major is going to have more scholarships available, and that major is going to be wanting to recruit you more. So, for example, I went to Kansas State. If I was going there in pre-law, that was probably not a great choice. Not that they don't have a pre-law program, but it's just not, it doesn't have a law school associated with it. And so there's just not a lot of support, for pre-law. But if you want to go there for business or for engineering and for architecture, or even for agriculture, that's a really great school. And, they're looking for people, and they have a lot more scholarships in those areas than they would have in pre-law, for example.
No, that's fantastic. That's a great example, Kevin. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that the school you go to has the major and they're strong in your major. So not just have it, like I said, but also it's one of their top things, right? And to piggyback what Kevin said, that's where the recruiters are going to come looking for those skills as well. Good job.